Hello friends, I've recently tried to improve my Chaos Dungeon runs, and I tried various builds as well. This video will cover the basic foundation knowledge to help you build new or improve your Chaos Dungeon builds. You will be able to naturally identify a pathway of progressing your build to ultimately save your time on your dailies. This is a continuation video from the super old videos explaining preemptive strike engraving, and a showcase of my new Bard Chaos Dungeon utilizing Dominion relic set. Looking back to Betrayal relic set, just having this is actually good enough to have a decent run under 3 to 4 minutes. However, sometimes there were special cases where other relics are better in performance, like my old Bard video. Generally, Betrayal sets are often used for various AoE damage, instant identity meter recovery, and various buffs as well. With Preemptive Strike at level 3, the lightning AoE effect kills all minions in 1 or 2 ticks based on the stacks you've received. Big downside points I see often is lightning effects sometimes hit the second phase boss by accident and procs the preemptive strike. Also, when you do not get lightning buffs at all, other AoE damaging effects are not as fast too. Betrayal's second set, 4 set, 6 set at level 3 gives about 5, 6, and 7 seconds cooldown reduction, which means the buff's respawn time is 42 seconds when the buffs last about 30 seconds. So in theory, faster Chaos Dungeon clears should be dependent on utilizing Preemptive Strike to its fullest. Just like how I explained it on the old Paladin Chaos Dungeon video, as for Betrayal Relic set, some classes use them and some don't for more efficiency. As for skill choices, think about clear efficiency. Follow this checklist. 1. It needs to be a single hit skill to get the most Preemptive Strike effect. 2. AoE must be large. Some classes have great 360-degree AoE skills too. 3. Overall animation of the skill must be fast and quick with instant casting. Make sure to utilize as many Galewind runes and Rage runes as possible too. 4. Some skills like Gunlancer Surge Cannon, Soulfist's Tempest Blast, Slayer's Guillotine, and many more have tripods with reset chances with great AoE. Details on some skills could be shared through various shorts videos like my Gunlancer showcase, but it is important to recognize some few skills have really good different tripods. Make sure to take a closer look at your tripods with your class. After identifying the skills you want to use, take reference of this thought process. Step 1. Does your character have enough single-hit large AoE skills to one-shot spawn mobs? If the answer is no, Betrayal is the best choice for you at the moment. If the answer is yes, but lacking just damage, you can go Nightmare, but if you also lack cooldown as well, Dominion could be the best choice for that. Step 2. Work on your Chaos Dungeon engravings through various loots. Your goal is 333, but even 4 3s is very doable. I will talk more about this later. Step 3. Test to see if you still need help from Dominion or Nightmare Relic set to one-shot minions. More level 3 engravings may provide enough damage to one-shot a lot of the mobs without the Relic set's help. If you happen to deal enough damage, you have an option to change back to Betrayal Relic set for additional AoE for even faster clearing. Coming back to talking about builds, your goal is to stack up general damage engravings, and since we are going for speed and cooldown on all classes, all swift combat stat is crucial except special cases like Evolution Scouter or Demonic Impulse Shadowhunter. Substat on Necklace can pretty much be anything. I would prefer Spec because crit is not needed due to Preemptive Strike. On your earliest build up, just aim for Preemptive Strike at level 3. It may feel slow from here, but as you add more general damage engravings, you can see a huge difference. For example, for the Slayer with just Preemptive Strike, you can see some skills in my lightning effect from Betrayal set is not killing the minions in one shot. These delays tend to add up and kill your clear time. Since Hyper Express engraving support is a good example to test out things, you can see here I have 3 damage engravings enabled due to my HP lower than 80%. You can see when my HP reaches above 80% to activate stabilized status for additional damage, almost every skill kills minions in one shot, therefore resulting faster clears since from this point on your clear speed is capped from mob spawn rate. Here are the engravings you should generally look out for. The obvious one is Preemptive Strike, Contender, which is great for Chaos Dungeon, Stabilized Status because it is easy to keep up high HP in Chaos Dungeons, Cursed Doll, Increased mass in Raid Captain because Chaos Dungeon generally provide attack speed and movement speed, and since you're also going full swift, it really works well. Hitmaster, if you happen to be a Hitmaster class. Lightning Fury is optional, but it's not a bad choice, and pretty good for lower tier dungeons. Some classes do give a lot of attack power or damage through class engravings, like Summoners both engravings, Deathblade's remaining energy, Emperor engraving for Arcana, Judgment engraving for Paladin, Firepower for Artillerist, and Drizzle for Aeromancer. Some classes relied on identity meter or special changes like Shadowhunter and Scouters engraving, Demonic Impulse and Evolution, and Berserker for Mayhem. As for your loot, for additional places to obtain them other than weekly raids and dailies, here's some of the methods I've been using. For stones, you can use the trade-offs on the store. You can look for any engravings I've mentioned. Books like Stabilized Status, Contender, and Preemptive Strike should be relatively cheap. If you read it up to Legendary, a lucky Swiftness accessory with +3 will be enough to get a level 3 line. Remember to use the free coupons from Clown or Belshazzar. They tend to stack up in the future, or any of the other NPCs to trade lower level accessories as well. You can also buy tier 2 stones or accessories without spending payouts, if people tend to sell it off the market. Also, don't forget to work on the tripods as well by utilizing the drops from the Chaos Dungeons. Even level 3 is a huge boost in clear time. So with this, I am slowly collecting random drops to change combinations around to eventually build up to 4 3s or even higher. Lastly, those of you who are wondering boss portals and golden portals, make sure you have the Alt-E preset set up for raids and Chaos Dungeons. So you can switch to your raid build when you go into a boss portal and switch back when you go to the 3rd phase. As for gold portal, there's also a pirate card set that gives bonus damage to gold mobs, but since gold mobs die fast anyway, it is not that mandatory. With that, this concludes the fast tip of making your Chaos Dungeons more efficient. This doesn't fall under people who are not interested in them, but since Chaos Dungeons are such an important factor for your character's growth, I wanted to share some of my strategies to make your gameplay more efficient. On a side note, if you understand the procedures I've explained on this video, you'll have no problem finding cool new builds, like my Shadowhunter's new Chaos Dungeon build from the PTR change, where you can spam the new improved grind chain skill. It's actually really good. For detailed builds, feel free to ask away on my stream, or wait until the detailed build share videos. As always, thanks everyone, bye bye!